The summer of 2016 was a fantastic time. This guy wasn't president yet, we had fantastic music, and everyone in the world was out catching Pokemon. The release of Pokemon Go was a massive hit. It shot the share price of Nintendo up by 50%. The US release alone was too much for the service to handle, to the point that the developers had to push back the international release dates just so they could get ready for more users. And in under a week, it surpassed Twitter in the number of people actively using it every day. This was the biggest Pokemon craze since the Pokemania of the 90s. Between people landing themselves in hospital, playing while driving, and finding dead bodies while out looking for Pokemon, the game had its fair share of shocking headlines beyond those just marveling at its rapid takeover of the world's smartphones. But the initial fad died down, and players started using the game more sensibly. Although that's not to say that it's no longer a popular game, there are still plenty of people who play it regularly. And since 2016, when the game released, a huge number of features and new Pokemon have been rolled out into the game. To make it, the usual Pokemon team took a back seat and handed the reins to Niantic, a mobile game development company that had just spun out of Google a year before Pokemon Go launched. Hold on to that, because it will be important later. Pokemon Go was a totally unique game. The Pokemon company hadn't done anything like it before. Or had they? This wasn't the first time that a Pokemon game had been seen on mobile phones. You had the online trading card game, Pokemon Camp, Pokemon Shuffle, and even a few unlicensed emulators of the main series handheld game. But Pokemon Go changed the game by not changing the game. It was the first, and so far only, of the mobile games to include almost all of the core elements from the main series games. Catching and battling Pokemon, along with evolution and a focus on exploration. All of these elements were present, albeit modified slightly to suit a mobile game and cater to players who weren't necessarily as familiar with the main series mechanics. Even trading, the only core mechanic missing at the launch of Pokemon Go, was added in later. Pokemon Go was groundbreaking, that much is undeniable. It truly was a global phenomenon. I can still remember going out and seeing people huddled around Pokestops, catching Pokemon together and battling gyms. It was such a fresh take on the Pokemon series with so many features and mechanics that felt original to the game. But so many of the features and mechanics that seem unique to Pokemon Go had actually been tried and tested elsewhere in the series. In fact, when you look closely, Pokemon Go looks like more of a hodgepodge of features that had worked well elsewhere in the series, even down to the marketing. Look at these ads for the main series Pokemon games. Now compare them to the ads for Pokemon Go. Nintendo and Game Freak have always pushed the idea of Pokemon coming into the real world in their marketing, even back in the days of Red and Blue. This isn't that surprising though. Who wouldn't want their own happy bird, shiny dog, or rainbow pile of living sewage? I just want a muck. I want a real muck. Pokemon Go was the next logical step, just like Detective Pikachu after it. So the ads were basically just updated versions of ones they'd been using for years. But that's not all. A core selling point of the game, using augmented reality to put Pokemon in real environments, had already been done before too, on the 3DS. Dream Radar was a downloadable 3DS game that allowed you to catch Pokemon using AR, and Pokédex 3D was a 3DS app that let you look at your Pokédex using AR too. Now obviously neither of them were quite as robust as Pokemon Go, but they both got there first in terms of AR. But I hear you say, walking around the real world and catching Pokemon, that is unique to Pokemon Go. But no, it's not. That would be the Pokewalker. It was released alongside the DS games Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Basically, the Pokewalker was a pedometer that allowed you to take Pokemon from your DS out on walks in the real world. It even let you battle and capture Pokemon while doing that. And the Pokewalker itself is based on the Pokemon Pikachu and Pokemon Pikachu 2. Basically, think a Tamagotchi mixed with a pedometer with a big splash of Pokemon paint on top. So the advertising, the AR, and even the walking around in the real world had all been done before. But I'm sure there was one person saying, at least, the catching mechanic. The catching mechanic is different in Pokemon Go to all of the other Pokemon games before it. Because in the Pokemon games before it, you battle Pokemon to capture them. You don't do that in Pokemon Go. Literally every single main series game of Pokemon, you have to battle Pokemon before you can catch them. Unless you're in the Safari Zone. Pokemon Go's method for catching wild Pokemon is remarkably similar to the Safari Zone from the original games, where you can't battle wild Pokemon. All you can do is throw a Pokeball, run away, give them a treat, or throw a rock. If you take out the throwing rocks, it's literally the same thing as Pokemon Go. Wild Pokemon can even run away just like they can in the Safari Zone, and that doesn't happen anywhere else in the series apart from a few special Pokemon here and there. Even having said all that, with almost every single feature of Pokemon Go having been done previously in the series, it can still be unique, right? There's at least one feature that hasn't been done before. The fact that Pokemon are mapped to real-world locations. You'll find water Pokemon near watery areas, ghost Pokemon in graveyards, and there are even some Pokemon that can only be found on specific continents. There is no other Pokemon game that has done that. How could they? You literally could not find Pokemon in specific real-world locations before in any game. Well, I mean, except for one. Remember how I said that Niantic, the developers of Pokemon Go, were spun out from Google? Yeah, that wasn't a throwaway comment. Nintendo and Google both invested a lot of money in Niantic to really get it going. But that wasn't the first time they collaborated together to make something. On April Fool's Day 2014, Google launched Google Maps Pokemon Challenge, a game that involved finding 150 Pokemon from the first 6 generations at various locations around the planet. Once you've done that, Mew would appear and roam around the globe until found and captured. Of course, you could do this from your own home. All you needed to do was click around Google Maps. The event was so popular that it was extended and ended up lasting 5 days. And I think it's pretty safe to say that this fun little Google Maps game at least somewhat influenced the direction of Pokemon Go. And when you look at the maps used in Pokemon Go, it's very likely that they're taken from Google Maps, which makes sense given Niantic and Google's relationship. So pretty much none of the key features or mechanics of Pokemon Go are unique. They've all been done before in the Pokemon series. But does that mean that it's a bad game? No, I think it's a brilliant game because of that. Knowing that so many of the features in Pokemon Go are based on or similar to other features implemented by the Pokemon Company in other games, spin-offs, and collaborations is really cool. It feels like Pokemon Go is greater than the sum of its parts. A brand new machine built out of scraps. And the craze that sprung up around it is like some emergent property. All of those parts individually, used elsewhere, don't really do very much, but when you put them together in the right way, you get a revival of Pokemania. And that's the origin of Pokemon Go, and why it's probably a way cooler game than you might have thought. Wasn't that fun, just a little video on Pokemon Go? It's actually from a series I've got over on my Instagram where I look into the origins of sort of films, TV, music, basically any pop culture. So if you enjoyed that, you can go over there and find that. There's also videos on science and other stuff over there as well. Just thought I'd upload it here because it was a bit of fun. I enjoyed making it and I thought you might enjoy watching it. So if you did, let me know in the comments. And if you didn't, keep it to yourself. Quick thing, I just restocked my frog beanies. You can see them here. If you like them, I'd recommend getting them sooner rather than later because we ran out really quickly last time and we're running out really quickly this time. So yeah, definitely go and get one of those if you like them. And a big thanks to my patrons who you can see on screen now. Special thanks to Sarah and Big Willie. If you want to join my Patreon, it's a lot of fun. You get videos early, you get like bonus videos, you get live streams, lots of cool stuff over there. So go and join that or check that out if you want. I've also got 1 or 2 more big videos planned for this month, so subscribe or hit the bell if you want to see those. But yeah, that's me. I think that's me done. Goodbye.